and and I got to being that way. So I was the opposite of what that he condemns. Usually these, oh, I'm a member of your church, in spirit. That's the invisible church. But I actually was attending quite a few churches. Wednesday night I would go to um, the Coroner's Church. I can't remember what the Potter's House in Richmond, or visit around to different churches on Wednesday night. But it's kind of interesting whenever you do that, and I can see with little house churches in the early Testament how that would happen. Of course, the interesting thing was it was my Book of Acts professor. He kind of disagreed with them. He had went to school in Lexington at the Bible College in Lexington, so he didn't believe you had to have an arm or a leg. Paul took a generalized letter wherever he went, he could start churches, and so he pointed that out. He didn't believe you had to have an arm or leg to start a church. I guess that would make that's the reason that our home churches are so they look like what are they called? Uh, oh my goodness, Frankenstein's. They're missing an arm or a leg because they gave it to the mission. But anyway, so I have grown up since then and matured, and I don't think even Cecil Teep's membership roll, Church on the Rock, didn't. I remember I went to the Creek. They have a grow session after church. You can grow to the next step. And so I went to the next step and told the lady I wanted to see how that you joined the church. And she said, "Well, I'm not a member of the church." "Why do you need to be a member of the church?" I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, so I don't think I've been a member of a church since probably the Forks of Dix River. And so I think my membership is still there. Interestingly enough. Hey guys, at Forks of Dix River, I've been missing you. And so, but anyway, so now, my friends from my old days from the American Baptist Association that I went to seminary with, their heads are rolling. They're probably cussing me out in about 10 different languages. But anyway, now, just to put a steeple on the building and a bell in the steeple and the pulpit down front and a choir in the loft singing the doxology doesn't mean it is a local church in the New Testament sense of the word. There must be certain identifying features. I have written a booklet called The Spiritual Footprint of a Visible Church, and that's McGee and not me. I'm reading through the Bible by J. Vernon McGee, and so I want to give him full credit for that. In which I point out that the local church must manifest itself in a certain way in order to meet the requirement of a church of the Lord Jesus. These three epistles were written to two. By the way, I think he picks that up in the first chapter. He points out the two fingerprints of a New Testament church. Didn't he say two? But it kind of lost me here that he didn't list them here. But anyway, these three epistles were written to two young preachers who worked with Paul, Timothy, and Titus. They were a part of his fruit. That is, they were led to Christ through the ministry of Paul. He had these men with him as helpers, and he instructed them about the local church. In all three epistles, Paul is dealing with two things: the creed of the church and the conduct of the church. For the church within, the worship must be right. For the church without, good works must be manifested. Worship is it inside, works or outside. That's the way the church is to manifest itself. And oddly enough,